Now, the judge has just been formally introduced, but here's the subject we want to talk to him about. UnitedHealth Group, they've announced they're going to be leaving the Obamacare, those exchanges, by 2017. All right, Judge, could the Obama administration do anything to keep them in?
It's a very interesting question. I would hope not.
Right.
I would hope that the courts would continue to respect a 600-year-old Anglo-American principle of law, which is that the courts will not second-guess the business judgments of business organizations. If they've decided it hurts their business model to service this part of the healthcare market, then they shouldn't be forced to go in there. But we are facing an environment in which the government thinks it can go to a judge and get an order from the judge forcing people to work for the government.
They're not going to do that.
I would hope not, and I would hope that the type of litigation begun by the FBI against Apple will not migrate into the Department of Health and Human Services against UnitedHealthcare. We have a commitment to provide health care services. We're the government. We don't actually provide it. We're just the go-between. If you don't do this, who's going to do it? I can see that kind of an argument being made, and I hope it's profoundly rejected.
Oh, I think the other way around. I think the Obama administration may offer taxpayer money to make good the losses which the UnitedHealthcare companies of this world have incurred under Obamacare. That would be spending our money. There's a provision for this in Obamacare legislation.
There is, and it's reprehensible if that should happen. That's the socialized medicine
but what are you
that
lawyers
he promised would never happen.
You lawyers are not going to do a thing about this, are you? You're just going to sit on the sidelines and criticize. Oh, that's unconstitutional, and you'll do nothing.
Well, who would have standing to object to this? Because a taxpayer does not have standing to object to the way tax dollars are being spent. Otherwise, there'd be a floodgate of lawsuits.
There would.
Right.
So the damage is political. It's not legal.
May I correct you slightly? The remedy is political and not legal. That's what the courts would say. If you don't like the way these tax dollars are being spent, elect a new government. Don't come to us and try and get us as judges to tell the federal government how to spend tax dollars. It's a very sad state of affairs, particularly spending, where the courts have ruled there's no limit to what Congress can spend money on. It's not limited to its authority under the Constitution. It can spend money on attractive striped blue ties if it wants.
You want it? I gotta say, there is an element of sadness here, because President Obama walked into the White House with great hopes, hope for change. And one of those great hopes was that we would have a more equitable medical system. In came Obamacare, and frankly, Judge, it's fallen to pieces.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because the criticism from the left is even harsher.
It is.
That he has let them down. Because they were expecting single-payer universal. They were expecting what Bernie Sanders has been preaching, and the president, of course, failed to deliver on that.
The left really wants a British healthcare system. They do. Or a Canadian healthcare system.
Notwithstanding how poorly those systems have operated.
It's a sacred cow in Britain. You can't cut that. But
even Maggie couldn't cut it?
No, she couldn't. No, she couldn't. It did everything else, but not that.
Right.
Judge, thank you very much indeed. I trust we'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Got it.